Hello students, welcome back to the class. Today we are going to start chapter number 3, that is private, public and global enterprises. We have studied about the private enterprises or the private kind of business that exist in the economy. In this chapter we will discuss about the public sector, that is the government sector and the multinational companies. So, in the previous chapter, we have studied the forms and types of private sector. In this chapter, we shall discuss the role, forms, and merits, demerits of public sector enterprises. So, the very first thing that you need to understand is the role of public sector after independence. After independence, what the government did was, government ने प्राइवेट सेक्टर को एक मार्जिनलाइज सेक्शन बना दिया था. द रीज़न वॉज प्राइवेट सेक्टर डिडेंट हैव दैट मच मनी which was required to industrialize the whole country. So due to that reason, the government has to undertake the responsibility, and the public sector was given a major or dominant role in the overall development process. The Industrial Policy Resolution of 1948 and 56, they both provided dominant role to private sector, a public sector. The private sector was given only a rational or a very minimum amount or minimum sectors to develop. The reason and the rationale behind that was given that they don't have that much money, as well as they don't get that much incentives, so they won't be interested in doing such business. There were multiple restrictions as well on private sector in form of licensing, quantitative restrictions. But after 1991, the government has to change it from public sector to private sector, and has to undergo the privatization process, because there were many problems occurring under the public sector. So the government has to adopt the policy of liberalization, privatization and globalization. Many barriers which were there were removed. MRTP Act were removed, by Competition Act quantitative restrictions were removed, and ultimately the private sector is now a booming sector in the economy, and public sector is also playing an important part, because India follows the mixed economy rather than going either entire capitalist or entire socialist. India is following a mixed economy. So in this chapter we will discuss firstly the kind of public sector enterprises that exist in Indian economy. The very first is departmental undertaking or the government departments, like railways department is there. रेलवे डिपार्टमेंट में क्या होता है, रेलवे वाले पैसे सब हमसे कलेक्ट करते हैं इन द फॉर्म ऑफ टिकट्स एंड ऑल, एंड देन गवर्नमेंट उनको बजट के थ्रू पैसे देती है हर साल. दैट इज अ डिपार्टमेंटल अंडरटेकिंग. इट इज द ओल्डेस्ट फॉर्म ऑफ पब्लिक सेक्टर एंटरप्राइजेस. It is considered as one of the department of government. It doesn't have any separate existence other than government. That means it doesn't have a separate legal entity. The transactions cannot be done in the name of department undertaking, but in the name of government itself. It works under the overall control of one ministry or department of the government. For example, railways, defense, post and telegraph, broadcasting, they are simply example of departments or the ministries that run these particular undertakings. The main features of departmental undertakings are that they operate under the overall control of one of the ministry of the central or state government. It can be either central government or state government. Ministry के अंडर होंगे. They are part of government only. There is no separate entity. They are financed by the annual budget of government. They get money from the annual budget of the government. They cannot use the earning that they have received from their business. That revenue is deposited into the treasury of government. The staff of these departments are civil servants who are recruited and compensated as per the rules of civil servants. They are directly under the control of departmental head, which is answerable to the concerned minister. Like railway minister is there, and then there will be railways head who manage the overall activities of the railway department. And in case someone wants to sue a government department, the same manner will be followed as someone can sue a government. Then comes, what are the benefits of running a departmental undertaking? The government is doing departmental undertaking. The reason behind that is it has easy formation. The government simply has to write down that this is new department from today, and no registration is required. Control is effective because it is directly under the concerned ministry. The resources are used in best way, and it is directly under parliamentary control. If the department is not performing well, the question can be asked in parliament regarding the same. Public revenue is generated. Government gets income from these departments, and the secrecy is there because government doesn't have to disclose the data on the grounds of public safety. The principal demerits are that this is inflexible. The workers cannot manage the work according to their wish. It goes as per the reasons of parliament. Lack of motivation, they don't get any direct revenue, direct benefits. Workers will get only their fixed salary. They will not get any extra amount if they are doing any extra work. So there is lack of motivation, there is lack of financial autonomy. They don't get to use the money as they want. They have to follow the prescribed protocol to get the proper work done. Inefficient management is there. Management as it is done by civil servants. So government are usually overburdened by paperwork, so they are mostly busy with the paperwork rather than doing the actual work. Red tape means paperwork is also there, too many formalities are there, too many official work are there, due to which there is less scope of growth of these enterprises. But these are required in certain areas where like secrecy is required, where government control is required, or huge investments are required, which cannot be done by private sector, and undertaking is a source of revenue. So in these cases, the government usually go for departmental undertaking. In the next video, we will discuss about the other forms of government undertakings. Till then, take care and have a great day.